family is made strong by each of the team members understanding their role that they play within the family, and everybody playing their role to the best of their benefit. Teamwork is the thing that really makes a family work well. The religious aspect of a family, going to church and being involved with community organizations is really what I think is important for a family to be successful.
Talk a little bit about thinking back to your own childhood. What were some of the things that made your family strong and you strong in the process?
The sense of being raised by a single parent. There was 9 of us siblings, and the fact that we did everything as a unit, whether that was going out of town for a trip or family activities, and even to the fact of if there was some kind of a dinner or party, my mom was there along with the entire family. So we did everything together as a family.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. We've been asking everybody about family meals. Can you describe in your childhood the family meal?
Well, you didn't want to be late. When you have 8 siblings, if you were too late, you may not get the portion that you really wanted. My mother was a very good cook, and therefore, when that dinner bell rang, everybody was there promptly.
Say a little bit more about your mother and kind of what expectations she had for you and your siblings.
Well, she was a very strong individual. She was originally from Darlington, South Carolina, that her family knew of slavery, that I guess her great-grandmother was a part of that. So when freedom came, that's what caused them to move to the north. So she raised us with expectation of getting a good education. I was the only one that really took the education part to the point where I actually was the only person in my family to obtain a bachelor's degree. But she was always hoping that I would be the person that took forward, and I was able to do that. So before she died, she was able to see that the son that she thought to get a degree was able to do so. But education was important. She did day work, which means that she went out to basically the Jewish areas and did day work for Jew families and talked with them about the importance of education. So we grew up to learn and respect all different cultures and all different people. And I think that's something I've been able to pass on to my sons, that they look at people as who you are and not how you look. And I think that's something that my mom, that came from my mother, that I was able to pass on to my boys.
That's great. George, tell me a little bit more about your boys.
The oldest is George, which I had him when I was very young, so I did a lot of work. I didn't really get a chance to spend a lot of time with him, but we're very close. He currently resides in Indianapolis. He was able to get his bachelor's degree and also earned his master's degree. He was in the Navy. Jerron and I went to visit with him last spring break. He loves his dad very much, and he knows that he's loved by both his brother and stepbrother. My middle son, which is Garrett, is the one that got me involved in scouting back in '88 when the program was not working very well, and I went to his school to complain about getting the program fixed. And when I left the principal's office, I was the new appointed Cub Master. So Garrett got me involved in scouting some almost 30 years ago. He went to Sam Houston State University, where he earned his degree, and he currently works for an insurance company and investment group. My youngest son, Jerron, is a very excited young man. We had him at a later age, so I was able to spend a lot more time with him. He's currently a student at the Beakey High School, and unless you're from Houston, the name may not mean a lot, but anyone in Houston neighborhood knows it's one of the top 100 schools in the nation. He's a junior, and he's looking to work in the medical and computer field.
What do you and Jerron, what do you enjoy talking about with your youngest son?
You know, he's still the same today at 16, which I just find incredible that he still waits for me to come home. And when I'm home, the first thing he does is gives up his computer or whatever he's doing, excuse me, and he comes downstairs and we have a conversation. And I let him talk about whatever's on his mind. Sometimes it's about something silly that has happened at school. In his mind, that's important. So we get a chance to talk about that. We watch football games together, though I fall asleep most of the time and he leaves in the middle of that. But the excitement of, as he still comes and greets me as he did when he was 2 years old, he ran to the door when I came home, and he still does that at 16. It's just so exciting to have that relationship.
That's great. Do you, I love the way you describe your mother and her expectations. What about your expectations for him?
For my boys?
Yeah.
Oh, they understand the importance of communicating and being involved and learning as much as you can. We do things together as a family. Matter of fact, I don't think there's been very many events that we have gone to without each other. So I happen to work for the Boy Scouts. A lot of the trainings that I've been able to go to, Garrick and Jerron always went along with me. To the fact that one trip we couldn't afford to fly, so we actually drove from Houston to Nashville so that they can be a part of the training, and they were there with me. I think it was one of two families that actually was able to go on the trip because we had a short turnaround that we had to be back to work 2 days after we got back. But it's important that I take them wherever I go.
And what kind of expectations do they have for you?
They have high expectations. Matter of fact, the expectations from them come from their mom, that she's always encouraging them to encourage me to be the best that I can be and to do things the proper way at all times. So she used them as an intermediary to make sure that Dad's on the right track. She knows that sometimes if she calls and asks for something that there may be a delay, but if the son calls and asks, you know that's going to happen right away. So she's got that down to a science.
You all sound so close, but for strong black men, I was curious, how do you show love?
Well, one of the things I do, I hug them all the time, and I still kiss them on the head. And I let them know that it's okay for us to hug and be close, and that we can show emotion to each other. That's just not something that's set aside for the mom. I still kiss him on the head every once in a while when I'm leaving to go to work and he's laying there sleeping, getting a couple of extra hours of sleep.